fucking jerk off.
Sit in the baby
you
seat.
take that fucking seat. Take it home to your wife and shove it all up your fucking ass.
Sit in the baby seat, little girl.
Need you like a fucking hole in my fucking head.
Sit in the seat, little girl.
All right, calm down.
We are going to enter Shuli's Fight Club this week with your fight with Doug Goodstein. I listened to Doug and Scott. They were on Stuttering John's podcast last week. And for some reason, when Doug interacts with Scott, he's so subservient to him. Or something. Is there something that I'm picking up there?
I mean, Scott was the director, but, Doug was the exec producer. And, when things needed to get done, Doug was the guy who was the conduit between the show and In Demand, I believe it was, when I was there. I know there was before I got there, but I don't necessarily think he was Doug's boss. I think they were at the same level, if anything. Okay, because when they're together, Doug seems so subservient to Scott. Not in a bad way. I think it's a respect thing. I think he really respects Scott. I think, listen, man, these guys were in a foxhole together for over 20 plus years, filming this, watching this thing progress. So you get a bond, there's family, there's camaraderie there. I think it's cute. So Scott mentioned something on John's show. He said that he sold out of all the golf caddies that he for real, he did. So who bought 7 golf caddies? Is that insane. The right term? Is it golf caddy or something else? No, it was the golf. Isn't it? Either way, it was just. It was a camera with a clamp on it. Yeah, and we sold out. Like he sat up all night working, like he was Tony Stark working on a fucking reactor. Yeah, and again, it seemed to be a redundant product because when I see my friends that they video themselves, this is before the golf caddy. Was it video caddy or golf caddy? They would just use a tripod or video caddy. Video caddy? No, because whatever. We'll figure it out. But the coolest thing is, to redeem himself, and this is serious, he told John during the time when John allowed them to pitch a new product that he has a new business, and this is for real. He said that somehow he's able to offer a service to golf clubs where he can fly some robot that has a camera attached to it over their golf course to take video of it so they can use in promotional products. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's called a drone. It's 2021. I don't know if you've ever heard of this thing, but they sell them at Radio Shack. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. I shit you not. Like he's pitching this to or telling this to John, and I go, Scott, that's the drone. Like my son can do that. He's serious. Like that's the business that he has. But then at the end, he's like, oh, by the way, I'm unemployed. I'm looking for another job as well. Not only has the inventor of the golf caddy sold out, but he definitely has a new invention. And it's one where you can fly this robot over a golf course that has a video camera attached to it and can take a video of the course. Well, here's a little bit of an exclusive for you, Vinny. I have spoken to one Scott DePace recently. And I've spoken to one Doug Goodstein recently, and I have spoken to one Brian Phelan recently. And yours truly is going to be putting together a little Howard TV reunion show where we're all going to get together. Here's the rules. You got to have some drinks. You got to have some smoke, whatever your poison is. And we're going to sit down, and we're going to just tell old war stories, and we're going to laugh our asses off. And, I can't wait to do it. These guys, I've experienced some of the most fun shit in my life with these guys there documenting it. So I'm excited to go back down memory lane. And yes, we will definitely be talking about the baby clothes incident for sure. Yeah, we're going to get into that fight. I don't understand what their issue is. They are upset because Howard supposedly fired them on the air. And then that's how they found out about it. And then Howard was going to use them for his birthday show, but he ends up not using them. And it's post their termination, and they're kind of upset that they weren't invited to Howard's birthday party. Were you at that birthday party?
I was in the balcony manning my whack pack squad.
Yeah, so there's always these rumors that it didn't sell out. Is that true?
No, that thing was packed.
Yeah, because you hear a lot of people say that I think even Doug makes that reference, or Scott, that they were, not only were they not invited, that the tickets were being given out to people on the street. Now, I
mean, that could be the case. I wasn't outside, so I don't know. But I can tell you that when the show started and I was in that balcony and I looked up and looked around that entire theater, there was no empty seats. It was packed with people.
So
I'm not saying they're not right. I don't know. I don't know what happened outside. I was inside.
After the in-demand people were gone, I had clients go up and appeared on the show, and somehow they would send me video of the video that was being taken of them after in-demand was gone. Was there just someone else manning a camera after they left?
Well, I mean, with TV production, when you have a setup like Howard has, to take stuff out, you literally will have to pay to, gut the studio again and then rebuild it again, because there's stuff on tracks, there's stuff, bolted into the ceilings, all kinds of shit. So, yeah.
I meant the fact that they were recording the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So there's equipment left over that is still operational, and I think at the time, while they weren't 100% sure of this app, and if they were, if this thing they were thinking of doing was possible, at that time they were stockpiling stuff for later use. So but it was very, archaic. It was like one camera shoot type thing, and it wasn't every single show, every single episode. I think they did it for interviews and stuff, or like in studio bits or something.
Yeah, because ultimately I also have someone who lives in my building who works on the technical side, and I would always make fun of them because the app sucked, right? So like if I wanted to see high pitch on a show on YouTube, I just search for it and I get it. Mm-hmm. The app was so bad when it came to actually having content and then having it searchable. I don't know if it changed. I mean, this is 5 years ago. My friend in the building that I live in was developing that app. But to me, it just never made it past YouTube. So moving on to your fight with Doug Goodstein. Doug had offered to give you baby clothes. It's very common with people that have kids. You accepted. You took the clothes. We all know that part. There comes a time when Marlo, Doug's wife, that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
Is she really that hot as everyone makes it out her to be?
I don't know. I've never met her face to face. Oh, actually, I think I met her years ago at the Christmas party.
Well, she met you. She was looking at your Facebook, all the pictures up and down, and she noticed that you had a car seat. Now, in addition to the clothes, she gave you a car seat, and she noticed that the car seat that you were using was not the one that she was given. So most likely what happened is she told Doug that she wants to have it back, to get that car seat back. And then that leads us to the big fight. But to me, you were great in this bit because you brought all the clothes in, and we'll show that video. And you also returned it, and I love that you took it right out of the bag and threw it all down. And then you look like you almost got into a fight with Doug.
Where I had to bring my fucking wife and I'm an ingrate. You're the motherfucker who texts me that I'm a cocksucker.
Don't put your finger in my face.
Really? What are you gonna do? Do it.
Oh
Do it. You're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking pussy. You fucking. You're the worst fucking kind of, because you sit there and the real you comes out when you're fucking mad. You don't have to come in. You ain't gonna do shit.
You're not gonna do shit. What are you gonna do? Scratch me?
What the fuck am I gonna do? I'll take it right here on the chin, and then I'll own all the fucking clothes you kids have.
Sit here.
Fucking jerk off.
Sit in the baby seat.
You take that fucking seat. Take it home to your wife and shove it all up your fucking ass.
Sit in the baby seat, little girl.
Need you like a fucking hole in my fucking head.
Sit in the seat, little girl.
All right, calm down.
I'm the little girl.
Yeah,
You're the one.
Oh,
can we have the clothes back if you don't mind? I give you an answer. The next day, your wife fucking emails my wife. Oh, I didn't understand Doug's answer.
Because I don't
fuck
fucking
out of my
know.
life. The fuck out of my life. What do I need you for? Fucking Goodsteins.
Sit in the car seat. Let me carry you out.
You're
Strap
such
you
a
in,
prick.
little baby.
There's not one person out there that thinks you not only normal, but it's such a classless fucking thing you did.
It's just brutal listening to what an asshole I was.
No, you're fine, dude, because I thought it was great. And I also like Doug's response as well. He's playing it really cool. Which I always wish I could do that. I just can't fucking do it in the middle of a fight. I can't stay cool like that. Now, Doug, we know back in the day, he was into powerlifting a lot, as I am right now.
He was?
He was. So
you are? What?
Yeah. So
can I say I'm into powerlifting too, since we're all making shit up?
Can you press a barbell with weights on it for no apparent reason, straight up in the air?
Of course.
And then you're a powerlifter.
I have nothing to prove to you. I know I can do it.
It's all ego when it comes to bench pressing. There's no point in doing it. So, but Doug was pretty big. This is before he was married. And here, I look at the two of you, and then Ronnie comes in. So it's you, Ronnie standing in between you, and obviously yourself. The name that I came up with, Goodstein, Mund, and Egar. Goodstein, Mund, and Egar sounds like a law firm. Now, if you told me Goodstein, Mund, and Egar are representing me or doing my taxes, I would say okay, right? Maybe a little prejudicial when it comes to things like that, so I'll say yes.
Parking tickets. Yeah, you're
anything. Good. Yeah, I'm going to Goodstein, Mund, and Egar. They'll handle my case.
Mund, and Egar.
It's every Jewish mom's dream when they have a son, that they have a son that turns into a comedian, a cameraman, and a security guard, right?
That's right.
So what was the probability that actually became physical?
I don't know, man. I was pretty fired up. I was pissed because when he called me and here's what pissed me off the most is that my wife told me, don't fucking take any clothes. Just say no. Just say no, thank you. And I have such a huge problem with saying no to friends, to people that I know. I feel bad, so I'm always trying to please people. So I said yes. And at that moment, I'm sitting there on the radio, and I'm fighting with this guy who I was friendly with up until this fucking thing happened. And neither of us, I'd like to think, want to be involved in this discussion over fucking baby clothes. So for me, it was like I was just more mad at my wife being right at that moment, and I should have just said no than anything else. And I got this guy in my face going, get in the baby seat. I'm like, oh, I'm ready. All I needed was for him to act first. I wasn't, I'm a smart Jew. I'm not throwing my job away on him. But if he would have just touched me, shoved me, something, it had been on. I'd have got him in a headlock and power lifted Noogie right into his fucking Jew fro.
But props to Doug, because, I mean, you'll see it on the video, but he is just playing it cool. He's just leaning up against the wall, telling you to go sit in the baby seat. I mean, that's a good response.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm not the most menacing looking, when this is threatening you, it's like, why is that accountant upset? It's not like people aren't scared.
Totally. I am so tough if there's like 3 people in between me and the other person, or like there's 3 cops in between us, then I'll talk a lot of shit. If you were Chuck Zito, is Doug telling you to get into the baby seat?
Oh, I hop in, no problem. I throw a pacifier in my mouth. I crap my pants. It works. So
Ronnie does come in. Do you think that was part of shtick, or he actually thought that you were going to potentially escalate this to something physical?
No, he knew. Ronnie knows me. He knew I was pissed, legit pissed. And I imagine, I wasn't out there, but I imagine like most days, somebody woke him up and then said, go inside and handle this.
I thought Doug was taller, but I'm looking at you. Ronnie almost looks to be the tallest out of you 3, and I know he wears those lifts. Not to say that doesn't mean neither.
Wearing lifts. He's not wearing platform shoes. I don't know what you're looking at. There's no way Ronnie is taller than Doug and myself.
Yeah.
He might. With his little, hair that sticks up, he's taller than me by his hair, but not by much. And Doug, I think, is over. I think he's 6 foot, maybe.
Oh, really? Yeah. So he's just leaning back and playing it cool, like I said before. So when
I'm pretty sure I was looking up at him when I was threatening him.
There's been speculation that Ronnie is carrying a gun. He's carrying a taser. Do you have any insight into that?
I don't. I know he's carrying a chip on his shoulder, and he's had it for a number of years, and he's an angry fucking guy. That I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, he's either moving to retirement or death, right? He's getting up there in age, so there's not much more.
Well, some would say they're one and the same. So, what are you going to do?
That's true. The way that this feud ends is that you dump all the clothes on the couch, which is awesome. And does Doug actually have to, I don't know if we ever see it, but does he have to scoop up all those clothes, or was there something else behind the scenes that we missed?
I didn't touch them. Where they laid is where I left them, and eventually, maybe interns or somebody brought them to the back, but that was Doug's. And that was part of the thing where I was like, okay, you want your clothes back? Now you're going to schlep them home like I had to schlep them here, except, he drove to work. I took the train in. But, there's a funny thing, a little exclusive backstory. So I was doing Miserable Men at the time as well on Sunday nights with Bob Levy, Mike Morse, Mark Burns, and this whole baby clothes thing blew up. And when we did the show Sunday, we had calls. Mike Morse, who does, great song parodies, had a bunch of song parodies. We took calls on it. We talked about it. We played song parodies. And then that Monday, I had a meeting in Tim Sabian's office with Doug, myself, and Tim. And I remember Doug saying, in the X amount of years I've done this show, I've never gotten a reaction like this from people. And I go, well, what does that tell you? Maybe it tells you that you're wrong in what you did. And he goes, they got my home address. They're mailing me baby clothes to my house. And I said, Doug, wow, that's funny. In no way am I condoning someone sharing your home address and sending shit to your house. I don't dig that at all. I said, I'm a parent. I wouldn't want that. So, and he basically, Tim and basically told us stop talking about it on Miserable Men, to just leave it. And we did.